All right, so let's make sure that you can see, hear it, all that good stuff. We'll start with that. All right, so this is a little bit different than normal. What we're doing is we're going to go ahead and so I just want to make sure that first of all you can see us. I'm not sure if Anna is on quite yet, but before we do that, give you a little introduction. How's that? We'll start there. All right, so what we're going to do, first off, my name is Jessie. I'm with Decker Truckline. And for all of you who are new, so Nathan, I can see and I can hear you. Yes, why are we live on a Wednesday? We are live on a Wednesday because we are doing a hiring event for our Midwest Flatbed division. So Joseph, who is just here, switched over to our flatbed as well. David, hello, David doing it. So we're going to be talking about some of our Midwest flatbed. And if I can get Anna to join me, you'll get to see her as well. So I'm going to try and snag her real quick, see if we can get her. And then still nothing, she says. Still not letting me in. How rude, huh? Just isn't working. So let's see here. If I can unmute her. It's probably the case. Chose the worst time of the year to do that. What are you talking about? Because it's too warm? So Joseph had switched over to our flatbed division from our refrigerated side. So totally new to flatbed. Hey, Josh, how goes it? Just hanging out on the spare office, servicing new tires. Good deal. All right. Well, I was hoping to have Miss Anna join me here today, but it looks like I am falling on my face with that one. So it's just me you guys are stuck with today. So she'll be there. Oh, Esteban, hey, hello. I hope you're doing well. Nathan's here, Joseph's here. Good deal, you guys. Josh is here. We just don't have Anna. Anna. All right. You are not lying. Joseph says it's been 100 plus for the past few weeks. I think warm is an underestimate. Yeah. Understatement is for sure. For sure, it has been warm. Well, it's when it's hitting the 90s in Montana, that it's super duper warm. I really wanted to be able to join Felix from Tacoma, Washington. Felix, love the pictures. Keep sending them. Definitely submitting them into our calendar for the year. So I'd love to see that. Looking good, you guys. Looking good. All right. Well, I don't have Miss Anna in here. So I am going to dive in because I do know that I want to be able to respect your time here. We've been talking a lot about our referral bonus here this week. We talked about it on Monday. We talked about it on Tuesday. And for all of you who are not necessarily familiar with where we were talking about this, is Monday we have a Facebook Live. It's a Q&A. We do it at 4 p.m. Central. And hey, Bob. And so we do that every week, and it's really an opportunity for you to ask your questions, for us to update you. It is also an opportunity for us to give you updates that are coming out, what's going on, if there's news that needs to be shared, and so forth. So really, it's just a good channel for communication for us. Also, on Tuesdays, we do something very similar. It's a Q&A on our YouTube channel. It's a little bit different because it's not necessarily talking directly to our professional drivers here at Decker. Obviously, it opens up to a larger crowd. And so we try to kind of inform you as well as keep you in the loop if you are one of our professional drivers who are on YouTube, and that just is your thing. So Bob says, I'm here. I'm just as good as Anna. You might be in some ways. I don't know, Bob. I don't know. She's trying, but she's going to help me talk through or discuss our Midwest flatbed division. So we're going to try and offer an opportunity for you guys. If you have somebody that you are referring to Decker and you know that they have questions and they want to be part of the hiring event, we're going to be doing this on a weekly basis as well. So kind of playing with some times to see what's going to work best, but it's really just opening up an opportunity for, again, a little Q&A, but we're going to dive a little bit deeper by division for the specific hiring event. So today is our Midwest flatbed that we're going to be talking about. So we'll dive into that. We do have quite a bit of opportunities in our Midwest flatbed that are growing. So we haven't always been able to offer the home time and the pay combinations. So we're doing that now. I see that I'm missing. Well then, nope, she's better, he says. I was getting just a portion of your comment there. So as you know, my name is Jessie. I've been with Decker since 2010 when we opened up our Missoula terminal out in Missoula, Montana. Now, we are not going to be talking about our Missoula terminal today necessarily, although if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer those. But we're going to be more specifically talking about our Midwest flatbed and what that takes. So there you go. That's what we'll be talking about. And hopefully Ms. Anna will be able to join us here eventually. Nathan says, can't wait to hear about the reefer division. I talked to one of the recruiters this week and is very interested. Excellent, excellent. Yes, we have great opportunities in our refrigerated division as well. We also have dry van. So depending on where you're at, you might be in a prime location that offers quite a bit of opportunity, not only the refrigerated and flatbed, not only home weekly, maybe you're looking for over the road. Maybe you're looking for something home more often in, like, say, the short haul division. Guess what? We've got that too. So we'll be talking about that. I do want to give you a little bit of background. So last week, we as in the recruiters, met up with our operations department in Fort Dodge. So it was quite an event to discuss a lot of the different opportunities that are going to that. We wanted to go over a lot of the details, making sure that we were up to date on the mileage, the pay, the running lanes, equipment, and so much more. So we got quite a bit of information, and we just want to make sure that we're sharing that and all of the details here with you. So hey, Miss Katie. Katie's in the background as well. So she'll be helping us out. If you don't know Katie, well, if you don't know her, you should be able to see her on our Facebook page from last week during our our Facebook Live. She and Tammy and I went around, were escorted by Matt Lynch in discovering the shop and maintenance and getting the walkthrough. So, hey, Katie. All right, so that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to do our Midwest flatbed. There are quite a few subdivisions within this division, and so I want to make sure that I answer all of those questions. Well, thank you. So I'm assuming that Miss Anna is on, since I see now, I see that some of these things are being popped up. Unfortunately, you can't see her, and I was hoping for you to be able to see her. So we'll fly by the seat of our pants here and see how it goes. All right, Anna, do you hear me? Are you on? Looks like she's signed in as Decker instead of herself here. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I won't let her in. Mr. Bankroll Driver. Hi, Anna here. So Anna, I'm betting that the reason it's doing that is because you're signed in as Decker instead of yourself, but I'm not 100% sure. All right, so Mr. Bankroll, I gotta love your name. That's fantastic. Yes, we do have flatbed out of your area. We also have refrigerated. Now, the position that I am talking about, I got Bob here in the right here. The positions that I'm talking about aren't necessarily out of your area, even though we have flatbed and we have refrigerated. The focus is going to be more on the Midwest refrigerated, or excuse me, Midwest flatbed today. So some of this information is going to overlap and some of it won't, but we'll be sure to answer your questions. So yes, Anna has gone ahead and responded as well. If you guys have any questions whatsoever and want to speak with a recruiter at any time, please feel free to do that. The number is 888-668-0698. And I usually have that across the screen here. And of course I don't, because we were trying to dual screen. But you can apply online at drivedecker.com, which is probably backwards to you right now. I don't know if it is. And of course, Bob, our illustrious Bob, yes, absolutely. He's in an area that has multiple options. So I'm going to back one sec. Let's get back over to the question that Bankroll had for us, asking about home time. In my refrigerated division, we have a regional refrigerated option for you, which would get you home on a weekly basis. But we also have over the road flatbed, which would get you home about every 2 weeks. So weekly with the refrigerated or OTR, and then with the flatbed, it's home every 2 weeks or so, about every other weekend. And getting back to Bob put on here his location out of Harlan. You have several options, but you know this. So you've got refrigerated, you've got home weekly refrigerated, you've got the guaranteed pay division out of your neck of the woods. We have a short haul division for our flatbed that's out of there. That's one of them we're going to talk about today, as well as home weekly in our Midwest flatbed. So you've got options. Bob, you also are in the Midwest van division, or van area. So yeah, that's out of the Harlan, Iowa area quite a bit. And Mr. Jeff Parker from Billings, Montana. Fantastic. Good to see you there. All right, so like I said, as always, please ask your questions, interrupt at any time. I may or may not answer them as they're coming about, but I do want to make sure that I hit on all of the details of these positions so that you are pretty darn well informed. So I'm gonna cover both of us, Anna, make sure we've got anything. If there's anything that I'm missing, please be sure to put it in the chat so that I can read it. He says, sign me up. You know it. You know I try, Bob. All right, so home time options. First off, we want to find out from you when you're talking to one of the recruiters, your first thing that you need to decide is what are your home time expectations and what are your weekly financial expectations. Now it is hard from here, from my seat, not the driver's seat, but my seat, that when it comes to what your take home is, it's really hard to give you an exact number because there's a lot of variables, such as how many do you claim? So what are your taxes? Also, 401k, we match at 30% on the 401k. So depending on how much you put into the 401k, that's going to affect what your take home is. If you chose to do the insurance, we have Blue Cross Blue Shield, it's an 80-20 plan. We have company paid life insurance, but we have additional life insurance options, additional like cancer insurance and long-term, short-term insurances available to you. So quite a bit. Bob is saying 10,000 a week. So we will, depending on what your expectations are, and if they are realistic as far as we're concerned, then we'll continue to move forward. So again, home time is important. It would be important to me, so I would assume it'd be important to you as well. Some people have different home time expectations. If you're looking to get home, every 2-3 weeks, absolutely. We've got over the road, we've got some great miles that you can rack up. But if you're looking to be home on a weekly basis, or maybe every couple of days, in several locations, we have those options as well. So we're going to have more options in some cases than we will in others. So that's all the things that we're going to discuss. So yeah, what are you looking for? What are your home time and your monetary expectations? Once that's established, then we can kind of guide you into the right position for you based off of that. Now, if your expectations are to bring home more than $1,500 a week, now again, this is bring home, then I'm suggesting lease purchase or owner operator right now. It can be very lucrative with the lease purchase program right now. We pay 72% of the load, plus you'll get the fuel surcharge on top of that. And with what rates are right now, that can work out really well for our lease purchase drivers. And of course, you're looking at the same type of equipment that any of our company drivers have, which is top of the line. You already know that, right? Josh is asking if we've got dry van out of his neck of the woods. Let's see. We have, not right now, we don't. Not out of the 735, the Duncan. Oh, that's not even. Out of the Duncan, Oklahoma area, no, we don't have dry van. What we have is refrigerated out of there right now. sports schedules are too crazy right now. Yes, your Munchkin's probably right in the middle of baseball, huh, Bob? Yep, right in the middle of all of it. So yes, we definitely have options for that Midwest for home daily in some cases. That's part of our short haul division, home multiple times throughout the week. But the monetary and the home time, they need to balance out in order for us to know which one's going to be the best fit for you. So again, our lease purchase, if you're looking to bring home over $1,500 a week, anything over that, you're going to need to start looking at our lease purchase program. Now, gross amounts, so before taxes come out and your insurance and so forth, those are all, if you're looking to make $1,500, and in some cases $1,700 plus before taxes, then we can do that as a company driver. We do have options for you there. And again, a lot of it is going to be a balance between your home time as well as the miles and pay that you're receiving as well. You betcha, Josh. You bet. Yep, Bob says baseball and golf. That's right. 'Tis the season, getting in the warm weather, according to Joseph Too Warm. I'm not going to say that, though. I complain about the cold. All right, so let's talk about these home time options. First off, let's talk about the Chicago area. This is going to be the main example I'm going to use, at least for now, when it comes to multiple home time options, as well as top pay. So on the company side, if you are looking to make $1,700 a week, you have flatbed experience, and it is at least, if you have at least 5 months of flatbed experience, you can roll into this $1,700 a week guaranteed pay and get home on a weekly basis. So you're looking at running a lot of the Chicago area. You do need to live within Chicago in order to qualify this. Not necessarily in, but within 50 miles of Chicago, no further out than that, in order to qualify for that. And yes, it is definitely a lot of the Chicago running. We also have a $1,450 a week guaranteed pay for those who live a little bit further out. So that's going to cover a little bit more area. Fort Dodge, Iowa is a great example of that. Of course, where else? Fort Dodge, Iowa, Iowa City, Mason City, Iowa, Iowa City down to St. Louis. I'm picturing a map in my head to show you. And actually, let me see if I can pull one of those up for you so that you can see it as well. Maybe not. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, this is a full-on screen of what you can expect. Maybe. Nope, doesn't want to. Forget it. It won't let me. It just doesn't want to allow me to share the screen. Not at all. Okay, so to give you an idea, this is the $1,450 area that we guarantee you. If Iowa City down to St. Louis, Missouri, on over to the Louisville area. Yes, we are providing areas in Kentucky now, over to Columbus, Ohio, up north to Toledo, Ohio, and then back. Chicago's obviously going to be in this area, but within a 50-mile radius of Chicago, we can offer you a little bit more. But from Toledo up towards Madison, Wisconsin, over to Mason City, Iowa, and back down to Des Moines, wrapping around to Iowa City. All of that is in an area that we can offer you the $1,450 guaranteed pay. So you're probably wondering, okay, I know a lot of the industry has kind of created this stigma where it's like, oh, red flag guarantee, there's too many variables. So that's what we're going to talk about. So let's discuss these variables that are set there for you in the guaranteed pay. Honestly, they're pretty basic. You need to be available for dispatch at least 5 days out of the week. No load refusals for there. And you're going to know the running lanes that are available and that you'll be running in each division. So it's not going to be a surprise to you where you'd be running. And for most of the positions that I'm talking about, I'm not talking about running New York City or the New England states. This is our Midwest flatbed, which is more confined, and you really just don't see out there. You're also not going to see, Washington or Missoula, Montana, or something like that. It's way more confined of an area. Now, if there are areas that you are open to and you want to expand or spread your wings a bit, then that is an option for you as well. But these are more confined that I'm talking about today. So where was I? Yeah, let's talk about the Midwest flatbed, where this is the 1450, getting you home on a weekly basis. A lot of those requirements are going to be be available for dispatch 5 days out of the week, no load refusals. Get your paperwork in. Get your paperwork in by Sunday night at 10 p.m. Now, we have scanners in the truck for those who aren't yet on the Geotab system, but they won't be there long because we're getting them over there. So hi, Diane. Mrs. Swallow's over there. Good to see you. And so getting your paperwork in shouldn't be an issue, as long as if you do it after every load, then that's ideal. That's preferred. Once you've got your paperwork in, the payroll department will take care of it, but that'll go towards not only the guaranteed pay, but if you exceed the guaranteed pay. And I'll talk about that in just a second. But back to getting your paperwork in. If you have the TransFlow Geotab unit, which we will be completely moved over, we're hoping by the beginning of July, then you just have the scanner, you just take a snapshot of it with the Geotab unit or even the TransFlow app on your phone. That'll also work. And once you've done that, it comes over to the payroll department and is taken care of. But that's the third requirement in the guaranteed pay. So be available for dispatch at least 5 days out of the week, no load refusals, get your paperwork in by 10 o'clock on Sunday night, no CSA violations for the week. And remember, this is a week-by-week basis. No preventable accidents for the week, and no driver service failures. So no late loads. Now, again, this is driver service failures. So if it was late for another reason, weather or customer or something like that, then obviously that won't be held against you on those guaranteed pay requirements or for any other requirements or however else it might affect you. So don't worry about that. Let's make sure I'm not meeting any of those, missing any of the comments. All right, cool. So those are the 6 basic guaranteed pay requirements. So when I'm talking about guaranteed pay requirements and meeting the expectations, that's what I'm talking about. No surprises. That's what it is, cut and dry. Now, just because you met the guaranteed pay requirement, and for this example, we're talking about the 1450, that doesn't mean that 1450 is the max that you'll make. And in all honesty, it isn't the max that our drivers are currently making. This was news to me last week. This is definitely something that was a surprise because I didn't know the numbers well enough to know how far over several of our drivers are on those guaranteed pay. Now our goal was to make sure that we had a comfortable pay for you as well as a good home time. So we wanted a good balance for you. We want to make sure that you've got the support you need and that you're getting taken care of, if not exceeding your expectations, meeting them. With that 1450, and actually even with that 1700, we were seeing multiple individuals who received over and beyond that based off of the miles and effort that they put into it each time. So I did not realize in those 2 divisions. Now the other divisions, I did expect it. I definitely expected it, but in those 2 divisions, I wasn't expecting it. And to find out that, yes, we do see those who are making over and beyond those guarantees each week was flat out exciting because I'm basically selling the positions, and to know that you can go beyond it is very exciting. So anyways, with the 1450, if your miles and your rate of pay per mile, which is based off of your experience level, then whatever that is, if it exceeds that 1450, you're going to get the better of the 2. And the same with the 1700, you're going to get the better of the 2. Same with any of the other guaranteed pays. So with the short haul, we'll talk about short haul here. In the short haul division, you're guaranteed at least $1,000 a week. Now in that one, in the past, we were guaranteeing around $800. Well, this year, obviously, it's been different. We're seeing bigger and bigger payouts. Absolutely love to see the large payouts. And those are over $1,000 a week is what we're seeing. So yes, you've got the guarantee of $1,000 a week, but when you're seeing more and more that are paying over and beyond that, it is a fantastic site and definitely reassuring. It is, Dustin, it is Wednesday. That is true. You know what, by the way, Dustin has his own TikTok. I think you need to get with me on some TikTok videos, and we'll start creating a few and seeing if we can get a little traffic your way. How's that? Traffic on TikTok, that is. All right. Okay. So anyways, back to the rest of it. I know sometimes I get confused. You know, you just roll with it, see what happens. So we've got the short haul, we've got the home weekly, you know, several different options here for you. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask away. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep rolling. With all of the positions, especially in this Midwest, we do offer training. So I have been talking to you with the assumption that you have the experience. But if you don't, and you are a recent graduate of a PTDI certified school, I was just talking to William about this a few minutes ago, then if it was within the last couple of months, then we can train you. Now, PTDI certified school, basically, if it's over 160 hours, then we can work with you. You would have to go with a trainer, obviously. You would you do the orientation, which will be a full orientation instead of a more compact, because we have recently changed our orientation schedule, kind of compact that, because we realize time is money for you. We don't want to cut into your time more than we can or more than we should, but we do want to make sure that you are prepared and that you've got all of the resources and confidence when you go out on the road, so that you're going to be safe. Safety's got to be a priority. And if we don't feel that you're there yet, then obviously we won't release you to go solo. So back to the position itself. So if you do have to run with a trainer, you're paid $700 a week while you're training. Other than that, you'd be at your guaranteed pay, depending on whatever that guaranteed pay is. Okay. Yes, you're welcome, Dustin. No problem. That's because it's fun. I love seeing the pictures. You just keep them coming. David said, is there a minimum flatbed or minimum pay for the flatbed based out of the Nashville account? Yes, it is $1,000. That's minimum. I do want to say, however, that those who are on that account, David, they are exceeding that. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, though. I know for a fact that they are exceeding it because their miles have been strong. AC keeps them quite busy. AC is the driver manager for that division, also the customer rep for that position, because they definitely has a great bond with the company that we're hauling for. So yeah, it's a great one. Josh says, how do you sign up to be a trainer? Josh, love that you asked that. You need to get a hold of Dave Chapman, and along with Dave Chapman, Anna, if you could just make a note and also let Abby know, that would be fantastic. We don't have a lot of flatbed trainers right now. So those of you who are interested in training and have been here a year, then yes, we can open up that door. The training pay, I don't have all of the details on that yet. I've kind of heard some little whispers about what it is, but which is fantastic, by the way, for trainers. But I'm not positive on what it is. So I haven't seen the actual document come across my desk. So until it does, I'm not for sure. We'll have you talk to Dave Chapman, Josh, to be sure that he's the one to go. There you go. Anna's on it. Yep, at least 6 months. David says, I'm on it now. But you just switched to it, didn't you, David? That's what I was thinking, at least. But yeah, it's pretty good. AC does a good job of taking care. Now, I thought he was out for a week or so, so we'll see what that was like. Where else? Okay, so we're talking about training. Let's see if I can get my mind back on track here. We'll see. We'll talk about training. We'll talk about orientation here in just a little bit. Equipment. Our equipment, it's top of the line. You can talk to these guys here. There are several of our current drivers that are on today, and they'll let you know. We have top of the line equipment. Now, I do want to mention in the same breath that we have about half the fleet that will be replaced this year. There's a couple of reasons for that. The first one is we try to keep our trucks at about 16 to 18 months as an average age. However, with COVID or the pandemic happening this last year, it pushed back some of our truck inventory from coming in, and we're still kind of waiting on some of that inventory to come in. And so it has a lot of inventory is expected this year for that reason. So all of our 2018s and older, which is pretty much the oldest ones that you'll see, all of those are going to be replaced this year. Not too shabby. That being said, we are receiving about 10 a week for trucks that are coming in right now. We had a couple of weeks where we were a little nervous because the ports were blocked and the little piece that needed to be brought into the Peterbilt dealerships, the Volvo dealerships, and pretty much every car manufacturer here, they were all waiting on that just little chip, and it was being blocked by the ports. So now that it's here, we're starting to get the trucks in, and we're right now getting at about 11 to 15 trucks in a week, even though we were a little bit slower a couple weeks ago. So we're starting to get those in. Shop is getting them prepped, ready to go, decaled, and seated. So obviously, with our new trucks that are coming in, they are going to our current drivers first. So those of you who would be starting with Decker, you won't be getting a brand new truck. However, I just told you that 2018s are our oldest trucks. You're not going to see anything older than a 2018. Okay. That's it. We're prepping the other ones to get out of here. We're selling those. If you're in a 2018 right now, don't expect to be in it for very long because we're getting rid of them. We want newer. We're driven to be the best. That means you've got to drive the best, right? Yes, and they have like every amenity you can think of in them. We have APUs. I'm going to go through my list, so hang on tight for those of you who this is new to. We have APUs, inverters, which come in handy, by the way, in this heat. Joseph, am I right? So APUs, inverters, refrigerators, microwaves, televisions. Now that's a 32-inch TV that is equipped and company paid satellite television. It's over 100 plus channels. Yes, it includes the Sunday ticket, plus HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, and a whole bunch more. I don't know what else is on there with 100 channels. As a lease purchase owner operator, you are also given the option to purchase the Epic View satellite TV. As a company driver, Decker takes care of that. If you could get me a number for Mr. Chapman, I'm in. Yeah, right off the top of my head, it was just Chapman's extension, Josh, is 2450. Look at that. I've got a little cheat sheet that said important contacts. Compliments of Miss Katie Fram. Thank you, Katie. Josh says, I love my Volvo. What? You surprised me on that one. Yep, they meet my words. Bob says, for those 48 hours, oh, that's why we have the guaranteed pay. And that's also why it works fantastic for a lease purchase, because they are compensated for that as well. What was I talking about? Oh, what's in the trucks? Sorry, so we've got the 32-inch television. You have CB units in the truck, yes, and I couldn't remember for the life of me this morning, so Anna had to remind me that it was a Cobra 25 LTD for the CB unit in the truck. We have the Transflow Geotab units in the truck for the communications, the ELDs, the navigation. We have Sirius radio in the truck. Now, I do want to clarify, for the Sirius radio, all the equipment's there. However, you do need to hold a subscription for it, which most of you use. Well, I shouldn't say most of you. There are quite a few of you who just listen to podcasts, which, by the way, we have a podcast, comes out Thursday, but we have the podcast as well. That is, that's also available with the free Wi-Fi that we have in the truck. It is a Verizon Wi-Fi that's in the truck and is part of that Transflow Geotab unit. You can log into it that way. We have a cheat video, how-to video tutorial on how to do that. Super simple, but kind of nice to know. What else do we have? We do have the smart drive units in all of our trucks. So this is a safety feature, which I know a lot of you guys are familiar with, but it does include both the inward and outward facing event recorders, as well as lane departure, speed gauge, following distance, all of those Bendix system report outs too. So we have that. We have the pre-pass, easy pass, K-pass in all of our trucks, so that you can get past scales or get past like scales as well. The CAT scale, all part of the TransFlow CAT app that's also available. Yes, then that's when the TV comes in handy. Sprint and AT&T, yeah, well, it just depends. I think that, I'm not sure if there was a choice. I think it just worked out that way for the free Wi-Fi. But it's exciting. When we transitioned over to the GeoTab unit, we weren't sure if we were going to be able to offer the free Wi-Fi because we didn't know how much bandwidth it was all going to use. So what was it, in February? It was pretty exciting when we found out in February that we could do the free Wi-Fi. We all may have done a little happy dance before we announced it. It was pretty exciting. I like to announce those type of things because it's like, look what we can do for you. And it just, yeah, makes you feel good. And you get to use it, so it makes you happy, right? All right, what else do we have on those trucks? In all of the new trucks that are coming out, they will all be double bunk. So they'll all be double bunk trucks. Currently, they aren't all double bunk, but like I said, we're going to be replacing about half of our fleet, which will take care of those who currently aren't. Most of the trucks that are coming in are going to be the 579 Pete's. You can pretty much assume that they're all going to be automatics. I know that some of you have been seeing the 389 Pete's because Charles Gann, Chad Hazelton, they both received their 389 Pete's. But to be honest with you, those are most definitely earned Peterbilts. They've been here for a while. They've earned the opportunity to spec out their own truck, basically. And so that's why they have those 389. So mostly we're 579 Peterbilts. We have some 730, 740, 760 Volvos. Hey Josh, what Volvo do you have? What style? And then we have a few Freightliner Cascadia Evolutions as well. So we definitely have a variety of trucks. That doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be able to choose the truck that you're coming in on, because it does depend on availability. And as you know right now, even though we're getting trucks in, we may only have a few available to choose from. Because again, those trucks are going to our current drivers first. They've earned that. They've been waiting for those trucks because they've been working through the pandemic. Want to make sure that we get all of our professional drivers upgraded to the trucks that we've promised, and then we will get you upgraded as you're coming aboard. We'll get you upgraded quite soon, as again most of those trucks are being taken care of. John asked, do you know when the new Freightliners will be available? I don't. I'm not sure, and we don't have a lot coming in. Most of the trucks are going to be the Peterbilts. So in that order, which is no surprise to you, I'm sure, we have mostly 579 Pete's, and then we've got a variety of Volvos coming in, and then we have a few Freightliners coming in. So those are probably the least amount. As far as I know, it's not coming in that order. Those are just the amounts that, the Pete's, there's more of the Pete's are coming out than anything. So John, I don't know that. Lisa Sanders, she is doing her due diligence to get everything and everybody assigned as quickly as possible into these new trucks. And of course, our shop and maintenance, who we recognized last week for the appreciation days, are working diligently to get those trucks prepped. I know that our decal and signage shop, they're working hard to do it. I thought I was wearing the shirt to brag about, but not yet. Hey Ken, he says I'll have a new one. I know you're waiting for it. All right. So yes, these trucks, they come really well equipped. I'm sure I've missed something. I mean, we've got the air ride seats. We also have air ride seats as the passenger as well. So on that mark, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about our passenger policy. We do allow riders ages 10 to 69. The monthly insurance is $25 per month for the rider. And it's per individual that rides. So obviously you can only have one person ride at a time, but if you have a son or daughter that's riding at the beginning of June, and maybe your wife or husband is riding at the end of June, you do need two separate policies because it is based off of the rider. So keep that in consideration. Hi, Frank. Frank asks, what is the chance of a new hire coming in to get a smoke-free truck? That's a great question, and that's definitely something that we have been working quite well. We, as in Lisa and the shop maintenance, have worked really hard to keep track of because it is important. I'm going to use Kevin as an example, someone who is allergic to smoke, who it's very important that he does not get into a truck that's been smoked in. We do keep track of that. So it is likely. We also have, Frank, it's a great question because to me that's something that's really important as well. It would be very important to me. And so yes, we definitely keep track of that. With the trucks that we currently have, like the 2018s and some of the 2019s, we didn't keep track of that initially. That's something that we have been keeping track of this last year, and because obviously we recognize the importance, we wish we would have kept track of it sooner. So it is likely. It's something we take into consideration. Actually, when you come into orientation, let me back up. When you're talking to a recruiter, and they're going through an expectation sheet with you. This expectation sheet is going to talk about what are you looking for miles? What kind of home time are you looking for? What are your financial obligations, or what are your financial goals? Are you aware of the areas that you'll be running in, the equipment that you'll be using, all of those? Well, we're going through all of that. One of the questions we ask is, are you a smoker or non-smoker? Because we do not put a non-smoker, we don't want to put a non-smoker into a smoking truck. We do not want to put a smoker into a non-smoking truck. So yes, very good point. That was a really long answer, Frank. Sorry for that. Once you know me, you know that's not uncommon. He says, I don't know what 2020, so be a while, or well, I tried. Oh, yes. Yeah, you'll be a while because all the 2018s are going to be replaced first. Take a new Freightliner too, huh? Yes, I love the preferences. Everybody has their own preference on the trucks, but they are well maintained. They are newer model. They will be even newer model here shortly. So that's exciting. I'm going to get back to the position itself because I feel like I haven't given you a whole lot of details on the running lanes and everything. You're welcome, Frank. I haven't given you as much information on the running lanes as I wanted to. So I am just going to take a second basically to go through that with you. Let's talk about our Midwest regional flatbed. So I'm not necessarily talking about like a guaranteed pay of $14.50 or whatnot. I'm just talking about the area in general. If you plan on getting home on a weekly basis, you're probably looking at about 2,000 to 2,200 miles a week. But keep in mind, our goal is not necessarily what are your mileage goals, but it is what are your goals financially? What are your goals? Because there are so many different ways to make money besides just the cents per mile. We want to focus on what are your goals for mileage, because some of these loads, you're getting your cents per mile, but you also have the opportunity to make extra cents per mile if it's a short haul. If you're running anything less than 400 miles for a length of haul, you're going to get extra pay per mile, anywhere from 2 to 20 cents more per mile, because it's on a short haul. Your rate of pay, the base rate of pay, is going to be based off of your experience. If you're going to stay out for 2 weeks at a time, and yes, we definitely have guys that are doing that, then obviously you're going to be looking at higher miles, more miles on a weekly basis. And knowing your home time with your driver manager, allowing or keeping that communication going. And when I say communication, I do want to note that everybody's communication is a little bit different. Some people prefer to communicate over our transfer unit, over the unit itself. Some people do prefer to talk to on the phone. And when I'm saying, there are some driver managers that prefer the communication over the Qualcomm versus phone. And then there's some that prefer the other way. So you just need to find out and speak to your driver manager when you have your initial conversation one-on-one along with your recruiter. What is your preferred method of communication and how often, so that you guys can stay on it, because they obviously want to make connection with you on a daily basis so that we know we're going to be on track. We know that the loads are going to be delivered. We've got that reassurance. You know what you're expecting for pre-plan. By the way, yes, we do pre-plan. Our operations make sure they have you on a pre-plan, at least one, before the day is out. So they want to always make sure that you've got a pre-plan ahead of you. Yeah, so those are things that you're going through. That's just on, in general for the position. Now, if you're talking the flatbed division, now our flatbed division, the short haul division in our flatbed division, our flatbed short haul, the prime area for that, for hiring, is if you live in Fort Dodge, like specifically Fort Dodge area is fantastic for it. But if you live in Fort Dodge, or if you live up from Fort Dodge up to the Minneapolis area, we can get you home multiple times throughout the week. And in many cases, we can get you home daily. However, with a little bit of flexibility, like if you don't have to be home every single day and you're staying out, 2, maybe even 3 days at a time, and then of course home on the weekends, your miles can just stack on. I'm not spitting it out, but you can really stack up the miles if you stay out every other day instead of coming home on a daily basis in that short haul division. So just know that the amount of effort that you put in definitely goes into effect. Sorry about that. Definitely counts towards what you'll be seeing, what you'll be taking home each and every week. So yeah. Frank, sounds like a thorough company to be part of. You betcha. One huge team. Well, that it is. It definitely takes a team to make things run smoothly. We've got our operations department, which is going to include our customer service reps as well as our schedulers and stuff. And a lot of our customers do schedule their loads, especially in the refrigerated division. But yes, a lot of our customers do schedule their loads. But we've got planners, we've got our maintenance department and our shop working well, and they're all communicating with the recruiters so that we're giving you accurate information, as well as our communications department. And we, like I said, our operations. So we're just in training department, making sure that we're all on the same channel, same wavelength, so that when you're coming aboard and you're telling your recruiter what you're expecting, that you can also expect it on this, as on the operations side. So that's awesome. The link to the website right there. Can you see it? It's probably backwards. drivedecker.com. drivedecker.com. And I think Anna's put the link on here for you as well. John says, Decker is an awesome company to work for. I'm starting my 4th year here. Woo-hoo! And they really take good care of us. Good. I love that. Love to hear it. I got to go to work, though, he says. We'll have to talk later. All right. We'll see you later. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about this Fort Dodge short haul position. I say Fort Dodge, but it's, the terminal. The main terminal is here in Fort Dodge. Minneapolis is fantastic. Sioux City, Iowa is a great location. Omaha is a great location for this. The Des Moines area as well, a great location. And really anywhere from Des Moines up to Minneapolis, or Fort Dodge up to Minneapolis, or Des Moines to Fort Dodge, all great spots. And like I said, if you're needing to get home on a daily basis, it's doable, and still home on the weekends. If you have a little bit more leniency and can stay out a couple of days at a time, it makes a very big difference in what you can bring home. That's going to be the same for our weekly positions as well. If you have to be home every Friday at a certain time, then that's gonna make a difference on your check. It might be a little bit harder. However, you are home most Fridays for this position. For the home weekly, you can expect to get home either Friday or Saturday and leave back out either Sunday or Monday, usually for a Monday morning delivery. So as long as you've got that Monday morning delivery, which is usually early morning, 7 o'clock, and which isn't early for a lot of you, but 7 o'clock, and you get the load delivered, you're on to your next. That's going to set you up just perfectly for the rest of the week. But if you're late for that initial load, not only does that affect your guaranteed pay, but it also can affect just your rhythm for the rest of the week and really just throw it off. So be on time from the start, and you're going to be sitting pretty. Talking to Mark's the head of the operations for the Midwest Flatbed. He says, you know what, when it comes to the weekend, you're getting at least a 34 in this division, at least a 34-hour reset, which is a question I get all the time. I can't always say that in some of the divisions, but in this one, he says it's, yeah, pretty much that's what you're looking at. All right. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not missing any of the comments, so feel free to keep them coming. What was I thinking? Oh, so I knew there was something else I wanted to talk about. Talking about the guaranteed pay, we do have a sign-on bonus as well that is kind of linked to that guaranteed pay. So the guaranteed pay requirements, there's the pretty basic requirements, and you have to be compliant 100% of the time on a week-by-week basis. However, when you're looking at the sign-on bonus, you only have to be compliant 70% of the time in order to qualify for it. And when I'm talking about compliant, I don't mean that you're getting over and beyond the minimum pay or the guaranteed pay, because you could be getting, you could be making way more than that, still qualifying, but obviously making more with the cents per mile. That's fine. That's great. But as long as you meet those requirements over and beyond, then you have the opportunity to do even more. The sign-on bonus is $5,000. It's a $5,000 guaranteed pay accelerated bonus. It's a really long title for a sign-on bonus, but basically what that means is for the sign-on, not only will you get $12.50 each quarter, you'll also make an additional 5 cents a mile on all the miles you run over 20,000 for that quarter. Now, I do know with a lot of the division being short haul and a lot of the division being home weekly, people are concerned with, well, what the heck? What if I don't get those miles? The miles are there. I am flat out telling you, when it comes to our flatbed division, and with the freight the way it is right now, the miles are there. Prime example, we had 2 individuals who should have qualified for the Midwest Flatbed sign-on bonus, well, the quarterly sign-on bonus for this week, because it's paid every quarter based off of when you were hired on. So if you were hired on in April, then you'll get paid it in July, and it's paid the week of. So there are 2 individuals who were hired on for the quarter, or this would have been their quarter, and so they would have gotten that $12.50. However, both of those individuals ran more miles, and they actually received an additional between 400 and 450, because one of them was a little bit higher than the other, between 400 and 450 more dollars just in that bonus. And that's just the accelerated part of the sign-on bonus. So instead of making the $12.50, they made over $1,600 something for that bonus. Not too shabby of a bonus, right? Totally. But that's not the only thing. That's just this sign-on bonus. It's for the first year. We have monthly bonuses, which are completely obtainable and brag-worthy, and we're hoping to get that information out to you later today or soon with what those bonuses will be for this month. It usually comes out between the 10th and the 15th. That's the norm when the numbers aren't, when we're not having issues with the numbers. But with that being said, the last 2 months, we have had record numbers for our Smart Drive and our Scorecard bonuses. Those are the 2 monthly bonuses. I'm going to dive into just a little bit about what that is. Looks like I've got Send her a reminder. What's it? Jesse, please contact me about the 4th of July. Yes. Oh, Stephen, yes. And I got to talk to Amy about it too. She was asking me about it. So with those 2 bonuses, so here's the layout. I'm going to do two different topics here. Smart Drive bonus. I talked to you about the Smart Drive. The Smart Drive is basically the safety feature, the inward, outward facing event recorder. It has the lane departure, the speed gauge, following distance, all of that. That's all 1 unit Smart Drive. And then, so we've got that. That is, trying to think here on all the details, but it's a penny per mile on all the miles that you ran that month. So, you know, that's an extra 80 to 120 or whatever extra dollars for that month. We had, and Katie, you might have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was about 70, it's about 60 some percent. We had 70 perfect scores. Fantastic on that. And a perfect score is 0. And you get that bonus if it's 20 points or less. So phenomenal numbers. Also for phenomenal numbers was our scorecard bonus, which can get you an extra 4 cents a mile as a company driver, up to an extra 3 cents a mile as a lease purchaser or owner operator. And with that being said, the criteria for that, very similar. On-time delivery, so no driver service failures, no claims, no preventable incidents or accidents, no CSA violations. I think I said on-time delivery. What am I missing? Your idle time, making sure that your idle time is low, and there's different criteria. There is your idle time, your fuel compliance. That's another one that can save big, especially if you're an owner operator. Sorry, I know I'm running a little bit longer than normal right now, and so I want to make sure that where I'm supposed to be here, they know where I'm at. So they've got the idle time, the fuel efficiency or fuel compliance, miles. Miles is another one. The no CSA violations, no preventable accidents, no driver service failures. So those are basically the requirements for the scorecard bonus, and it has different intervals. Basically, if you're getting at least 850 out of 1,000 points, then you're getting an additional 1 to 4 cents more per mile. So in total, between the Smart Drive and the scorecard, you can get in altogether an additional 5 cents a mile on your bonuses. That's over $5,000 a year in additional bonuses. Yes. And when we're guaranteeing $1,000 a week, in some cases $1,450 a week, in other cases $1,700 a week, you can definitely make some money. So definitely opportunity available here at Decker. If you guys have questions, please feel free to give us a call. The number to one of the recruiters or any of the recruiters is 888-668-0698, and we can give you details about that. Now, before I let you go, before I leave you for today, as always, please make sure that you reach out to a recruiter with questions. We want to make sure that those are answered. But before I leave you today, we do have orientation that has been compact into 2.5 days in Fort Dodge. So whether you're going to start on a Monday or a Wednesday, yes, we've made a little bit of flexibility here for you, because obviously we recognize that it is going to be difficult in getting that logistics wise when you're coming from one company to another. It just doesn't always work out for a Monday start. So we got you figured out. So we've got a little bit of flexibility as long as you get your drug test, which is your urinalysis, and your physical and your online orientation, which we'll provide to you, done before you start orientation in Fort Dodge. You'll get an extra $100 on top of the $500 that we pay you for the 2.5 days of orientation in Fort Dodge. So yes, and then we get you to work, get you into your truck, have you do a walkthrough, meet your driver manager, and put you to work. That's what you came here for, right? All right, but you'll have the support as you're getting dispatched out too. Don't lose your recruiter's number. We have a very hefty referral bonuses that can be quite lucrative for you. So don't lose their number. Besides, they are a great resource if you have questions. I know your fleet manager, if you've reach out to them and you didn't feel like asking them another question, or if it was more of a recruiting question, that's what we're here for. Don't lose our number. You also have an ambassador when you come aboard. An ambassador is really, it's someone who's going to help you to succeed, is going to be the best way for me to put this. Now, Patrice, he's going to have a way better way of wording something, because he just does. He just has a way with words. And I tell you what, this ambassador program, which is led by Patrice in our safety department, is really a pathway to success here with Decker. This ambassador will give you access to one of our current drivers, one of our current in-house employees as well. And if you have questions, if you need to be, have someone take some time and walk through what the scorecard bonus is all about, or how to get your paperwork in, or hey, what about my benefits? When do those kick in? And which is after 90 days, by the way. If you have questions, that's what we're here for. That's what the ambassador is here for as well. And you'll have that contact to it. But again, get a hold of one of the recruiters, talk to them directly. Let's get specifics based off of where you live, how much experience you have, and what kind of expectations you have financially, as well as home time. So our number here is 888-668-0698. And of course, you can apply online. Again, I still don't know if this is backwards or not, but it's drivedecker.com. And we'll be able to answer questions for you there as well. That's the online application. So thank you guys for bearing with me. Next time we will have Miss Anna on here live, so that she'll join me. You guys will get to visit with her as well. Thanks again, you guys, for taking the time to visit with us. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Otherwise, we will see you next Monday on our Facebook Live, facebook.com/DTLinc. And it looks like I owe Stephen a phone call, so I'll be giving you a call here just shortly, Stephen. You and Amy to figure out everything. Very cool. All right. Take care, you guys. Be safe. See you soon.